Alright, so last year I talked about an ugly sweater and I couldn't find it. Well, now this is my ugly sweater. Look, guys. Isn't it fantastic? I love it. Hey folks, my name is Jen and today, looking a little bit festive, it's still a little ways off to Christmas, but I figured, you know, let's do another tag. Tag that I'm hoping to do today is called the Holiday Drinks book tag. I found it on Heather at the Sassy book Geek. This is a book blog on WordPress. He says that this was created by another book blog, Browsing for Books. I did try to look at that original link, but it is no more. So I will link the little blog entry down below as per usual, so you can at least see some of the source material. I'll also mention the person again, but her site is no more, the original creator anyway. There's only like a couple of questions and it has to do with holiday drinks. One of the things in here was to get your own holiday drink while you are doing the tag, and I do have that. It is in one of my few Christmas mugs, and Nutcracker, of course. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I collect Nutcrackers and Santas and I love them. But yeah, I've got a holiday drink. I've got this holiday tea. It's like citrusy and like bergamot and spices and stuff like that. It's delicious. So let's just get into this tag. There, we're centered a little more on my holiday display. Okay, so the first question is for hot chocolate, marshmallows and chocolate and whipped cream. Oh my. That's my favorite holiday drink. Recommend a book that's sweet through and through. So books that are sweet through and through. I have a couple that I can think of. The one I'm gonna go with is A Princess in Theory. This is by Alyssa Cole. This is part of the Reluctant Royal series. Actually, the Reluctant Royal series in general is super sweet through and through. While this does deal with more like serious topics throughout the series, it still is overall very sweet. The love stories are very sweet and are based upon like mutual love and attraction and respect and communication, and it's a beautiful thing that we love to see. And I remember just like squealing a lot while reading this series. I'm hoping to do another reread of it next year. Yeah, this is just overall love it. Super sweet. Question number 2 is Peppermint Mocha. The flavor of peppermint is strong and distinct. Recommend a book with a lot of strong emotions. So a few books come to mind for this, but I think one that I'm gonna go with, which is a recent-ish read, is Seance Tea Party by Raymona. This is a graphic novel about a girl named Laura who ends up befriending a ghost in her house, and it's very much talks about like grief and loss and growing up and the pains of all that, and it's just, it had me going through some emotions while I was reading this. It's sad, but it's beautiful at the same time, and it's just so lovely. Plus, the art is really pretty as well. So the next one is Apple Cider It is so good, it can't be good for you. But it's from apples, that means it's healthy, right? True. I recommend a book full of characters with questionable morals. So for this one, I'm trying to think of like books with characters with questionable morals. Because it was hard to figure out because I feel like I don't really have that many books, or I haven't read that many books with characters with questionable morals at this point. Although I know that's not true, because I know there has to be more. I'm just having trouble thinking of them. The only one that's coming to mind currently is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I'm currently rereading this. There is a magic user who's also a smuggler. There is a mysterious thief. There's a lot of characters that are kind of doing things maybe outside of the realm of standard morals, or even morals in this world as well. So, yeah, we're gonna go with this one. The next question thing is eggnog. It's creamy and smooth with a little spice, and some people even add alcohol to it. Recommend a book that's mostly fun with just a hint of danger. Also, side note, I love eggnog, but it's one of those things that I can have like one gulp of, and then I cannot have any more, or I'm gonna be really sick. Does anyone else experience this? Because it's too much, man. Or maybe that's just my lactose intolerance showing. So something that fits this one, I would say, is Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, or like this whole series, or probably middle grade in general, to be honest. But this series especially, because it's like fun, it's action-packed, but there is some darker hints of danger in here, especially as the series has kind of gone along. Like there's some dark and dangerous things in here. It increases a little bit more with the second book. It increases a little bit more with the third book too. I love that. I love it when things are really fun, but there's just like a little bit of uh-oh time. Like it. Love it. And the fifth and last question is gingerbread latte, which I have never had. Is that a Starbucks thing? That's probably why I've never had it. Anyway, it's gingerbread latte, a drink with a veritable explosion of spices. Recommend a book with a lot of action. I have a couple of books with this, but the one that I've read most recently is Inker Gold by Clive Kessler. This is part of his Dark Pit series. It's about a guy named Dirk Pitt. He's like a engineer with the National Underwater Marine Agency, and you'd think his job wouldn't be that crazy dangerous, but this guy just sniffs out trouble and hops right in all the time in every book. He is like Indiana Jones meets James Bond, but with scuba diving and classic cars. It's the series, like, there's a hell of a lot of Deus Ex Machina. There is some crazy shit that you're like, why would this even happen to one person? But it's so much fun at the same time. There is so much action in here. Fairly violent, if that's not your thing, though. But yeah, lot of action, lot of stuff happening to keep you guessing or invested the whole time. And then I just have this book, but really is part of a series that I want to mention as well, because it also could answer a couple of these questions. It's action-packed, it has some strong emotions, it's very sweet, like there's a lot of real sweetness in here, and that is the manga series From Far Away by Kyoko Fukawa. I think I posted on Instagram recently about this. It's about a girl named Naruko who is suddenly plunged into like a different dimension, like a fantastical world. And the reason she manages to survive is she bumps into this mysterious warrior named Izark, and this has to do, there's like a love story, there's like questions about fate and what is your fate, can you change your fate, like who are we, there's better questions about what can we bring to the world. It's such a good series, and like I said, tons of action, there's like countless scenes of fights, like a lot of fights, some philosophical stuff, almost very sweet romance, very sweet like relationships between, like friendships between characters as well. I just love it, so I wanted to like mention this as well because that's also part of this. I might talk more about this series at some point as well, because it's honestly one of my favorite manga series, and I just reread the whole thing. It's like 14 volumes and it's just really great. So anyway, y'all, that is this video. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider yourself tagged if you want to do this. Like I said, I will leave where I found it down below. Also down below, if you are checking that out, please look at a list that I have kind of added to. I usually have a list of helpful links to various causes and things that you should check out or like look into, donate to, and that kind of thing, and I've added a few more for the holidays down below as well, so please do check that out. And I think I haven't mentioned it in my most recent video or whatever, but if I forget to mention it in future videos, it will be like that through December. Those holiday specific causes as well as everything else. So please do look into that as well. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful week, guys.